what communication is, why to communicate, and how to communicate to make people understand what we want to say. It means to make people achieving what we want. Communication is necessary for making other people understand what we want to say or what we want to achieve. And communication is absolutely necessary for any kind of cooperation. It means in any kind of work, working with people. It is the same for teachers, for lawyers, and for youth workers, for anyone who wants to say something to other people. So, what is necessary for us when we communicate? What is necessary to do? How to transfer the information we want to spread, and how to make the exchange of information most effective. Most effective, it means people understand really what I want to say. I achieve during or thanks to communication what I really want to achieve. It means any communication in any kind of it, formal, informal, verbal, non-verbal, written, it means writing emails or letters or sitting with other people just and talking, is a process. Process when we transfer some information from a sender. That means now I'm sending some information to you, and to receiver who is receiving my information. This process of releasing information, spreading information, and then processing the information, this process is done in a code. It means communication is coding some information. Code, it is the language, Slovak language, English language, whatever languages are here in this world. It means me as a sender, now I'm coding some information for you as a receiver, and you, thanks to English language, my verbal and non-verbal communication, you can decode my information. It means what I want to say. So how can we make our communication necessary? To make it much more better and make it effective, we need to understand some critical points. One of them is that this coding of information contains a connotation and denotation. These two little bit strange words, not so commonly used, mean very simple thing. Denotation, it means a literal meaning. Paper. Connotation, it means association that any word or any phrase I use carries. It means a piece of paper to write some notes on. Or white paper, it means an official document. It means to understand what sender, it means the speaker, is really saying. We need to make them together into one very comprehensive one. Therefore, if we want to make our communication better, it means more effective, we need to watch out some very critical issues, as for example, communication barriers or communication no's, or we should be very careful with communication surrounding. So what are the communication barriers? There are verbal and non-verbal. If you don't understand and cannot understand English language, we can't speak in English language. We need to find some other coding of information, for example, speak Chinese. It means verbal and non-verbal communication, it is agreed way of communication. Communication noise, it means that sometimes it happens when we speak, we are starting just giving one information after another, what makes that the original, previous, the core information is lost during our conversation. Many times, probably it could happen also to you, that your client or your teacher or your classmate or colleague say, okay, it was very nice, a little talk, but what was the point? What we were talking really about? Why should I come to this meeting again? So we need to be very careful with taking the core information, the core of the statement. It means the core, what I want to say. Then the surrounding within which the communication is taken is very important. Sometimes it is important not to choose a noisy surrounding. It means, for example, some very quiet place, some office, etc. Or official or non-official surrounding. It means if I speak with my colleagues about the tomorrow's task, it is not unnecessary to take this communication, for example, sitting on my desk and in my office. We can take it, for example, while having a coffee. But talking with your boss or talking with your client, it requires some specific surrounding just to make the information you are spreading to be really, really kept. So, what are the priorities necessary for achieving any effective verbal manifestation? So, it is necessary, again, as I already said, to take the core of the statement. It means what I want to say and be very, very strict and be very precise with taking this core of statement. Working with your clients probably, or being a teacher, it means communicating with your students, or being a lawyer with some court proceeding. Many times it is helpful to use an active listening. Active listening, it means I'm not only listening the exact literary words you are using, but I'm also watching how you are communicating, how you are sending me that code. It means your gestures, whether you're smiling, or how you work with your voice, and whether it is better for you to sit. It means you feel a little bit stressed, etc. It means everything like reading between the lines, facial expression, everything is important because it gives us some signals about the meaning of what I want to say. So, what are the preconditions for me to speak, to communicate effectively? Many times people forget that one of the basic principles is the principle of comprehensivity. It means I need to be comprehensive to other people, what I really want to say. It means I'm using exact words which are agreed to somehow be used in this situation, as it was the example with the paper. Then I need to be very clear. It means there should be no doubt of what kind of paper I'm talking about. And there needs to be some feedback. It means I need to watch people I'm talking to, for example, giving some speech or address. Many times working with your clients as, for example, youth workers or social workers, it is very good to ask questions. Okay, did I understand this topic, this or this? Do you agree? Have I understood it well? And very good way is to use other words that your client has used. Then, very important is to prepare your communication. Preparedness, it means you should be absolutely sure who are you going to talk with one person or some collective, where the communication is going to be taken, whether it is official meeting or not. Why are you going to meet that person? It means you need to be very sure about what you want to say and how. Of course, official and non-official communication, there is a diversity of tools you can use. And also, if you talk to your boss and if you talk to your friend, also the way how you communicate needs to be different. Many times it is very helpful for being effective in your communication to have some crisis variant. It means if the communication is not going in the way I was prepared for, what are the other questions I want to ask? What are the other conditions I want to agree with my boss or with my client? It means we need to be very clear in formulating our thoughts, our ideas. It means we need to be very clear with our target, with our goal. In my mind, I need to be very clear with what I want to achieve with this communication. And it requires respecting the rules. I can be best ever prepared with negotiating my salary with my boss, but if I am not respecting rules of a verbal, formal communication, maybe I will lose also the salary I have now. So, what is the best, probably, piece of advice for you is to keep the principle of being natural when you are communicating, of course, also with respecting other rules. Because if you are natural in your communication, people with their intuition, people with their your feelings, your statements, can be much more sure what you want to say. So, what can help me? The best piece of advice for anyone who wants to improve the way of communication is to be own observer, just to watching yourself in the mirror, making some videos with you speaking, and then see how natural you look like in communication with other people. What is better for you, to sit or to stand? What shall I do with my hands? Oh, there is an over gesture when I speak, or I am like a statue, which can make other people a little bit stressed and which is not very natural. Also, then we should be very careful with stylistics, with terms, with words, with terminology we use, and also with the pronunciation. There are plenty of courses which can help you with managing all these disadvantages probably which you have in your communication. So good luck and try to practice.